you should have $1.2 million within your 401k, IRA, or whatever retirement account that you have. I'm sure that you probably have seen this context, whether it's been an article, whether it's been on social media, or rather it's just been within you, whatever, where are you looking at? The thing though that I have gotten a lot of questions around though is, what is the difference between a 401k and an IRA? You oftentimes hear these two accounts mentioned a lot when it comes to knowing and growing your funds for later. I think of retirement planning of that you're automating a certain amount and you're prepaying a bill for the funds that will fill and fund your retirement, because we've already seen context around the fact that Social Security could be gone, could be lessened, could be tempered. We don't know. But saving some towards your retirement will grow your sum over time. And knowing the difference between these different types of accounts and holding accountability and understanding and nurturing and growing and building your own retirement plan is key. And I wanted to use this video as a catalyst to start the conversation, the group chat. You know how we go over here, to knowing what is a 401k, what is an IRA. And then taking a step back, not just having those accounts, but being accountable to the funds that you move around to grow it and compound. So whenever you do retire, you ain't just trying to, you can do a little something. If you work would be out of wanting to do versus necessity, or the thing that has really been a very impactful thing when I see retirement in real time, meaning the people that we watch grow up with us, having money, not having money to invest for their retirement, is that the amount of people that are finding themselves in retirement either near or at the poverty level or even homeless is crazy. But I wanted to use this video to allow people to know that yes, I am a financial planner. Yes, I'm an educator, but I want people to start knowing and growing the money that they have for the money that they will have later. So the thing around it is that I want you to know the difference between those accounts, which one is right for you. But here's the little thing. All of them are right for you. No matter if you're going to pick a 401k at your employer, current employer, or IRA, rather it's Roth or regular, Roth or traditional, that knowing what those funds are going to be for later is key. But I want to educate on what those funds are, how they are impactful, what should you know, and how can you grow your funds. My thing is around here is that keeping funds simple, keeping finance simple. The reason why is because personal finance, financial planning and things like that can become like jargon filled, you don't know, so you ain't gonna go kind of thing. But I want to give context on what these accounts are. How can you be accountable with the account or the money that you have now and grow it for later? Because retirement is something that we're all going to face in some way. Rather it is forced or rather it is by choice. And some for people is a little bit of both. The thing is though, I want you to take the negative notion that you have around retirement planning, saving and putting money in these funds, to know that you can have a sustainable retirement regardless if you have that 1.2, that 1.3, or some ever freaking daggone figure that they throw at you that you should have. So what the finance is a IRA, what the finance is a 401k, and then what are some other things that you should keep in mind, knowing what they are, growing what you have, and building your retirement plan. Let's get into it. No matter if you are starting your new job, been at the job for 10 years, or like Tommy, nobody knows what your job is, you more than likely have heard the terminology around 401k. 401k is a retirement plan that is usually offered by your employer, or if you are a small business owner or a business owner, we don't say small over here, that you can actually start at your own 401k at your place of employment or your business. The thing though that comes along is that I remember saying, I don't know if it was the New York Post or whoever, that a lot of people know what a 401k is because they heard about it, but a lot of people do not know what a 401k is. It's like I'm saying this, you know how you go somewhere and you know the song to the point you humming along, but you don't know the song. Okay, this is a song that Beyonce was on. But honey, you belting out Cowboy Carter. That is the difference between knowing what a 401k is and knowing what a 401k is. If you understood the notation of what I meant by that, or who that is, drop that in the wallet. Wallet is where you're going to see the description, this description box with everything, the links from this video, anything that I have on my website, any short form content or whatever that is impactful to this video is going to be in the wallet. So if you know where I did the wallet, darling, that should give you a key of what wallet is. The wallet is there. But when it comes to a 401k, that's the difference, is that people know what a 401k, but they don't know what a 401k is. They don't know what goes into that. So a 401k is literally just set up by your employer. But here's the thing, the caveat. A lot of people know that, oh, my employer has this, but your employer works with the custodian. Say for instance, some popular custodians are Vanguard, Charles Schwab, Fidelity. These companies, these are what we call as custodians, or companies that are housing or servicers. You would think of them the same way if you were buying in a stock within your brokerage. So it's the same thing. Some wirehouses look a little different, but the thing is that you take a portion of your paycheck, but when you get paid, that you automatically, HR will have you fill out a form, and you're like, what the hell is that? Ask them what it is. Ask questions. Okay, tell you that. And then they will set a contribution of amount of 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, however much they tell you, based upon what you feel the match is and how it matches up within how much you subtract in whenever your paycheck hits your bank account. Contribution that you're going to do before taxes hit, your employer might match, but then you're going to take that over and it's going to go into this account. That account is then going to allow you to let's say set a percentage or a decimal level, or like do like a thermostat to say, this is what I want this amount of money to go to this fund. This is where I want this amount of money to go this fund. That is what happens with a 401k. Within a 401k is a very powerful way for you to save that grows tax deferred. The thing is that, say for instance, if you make $50,000 on a year, you put $5,000 into your 401k, that $5,000 comes out before taxes, meaning you're not paying taxes on it right now. You're going to pay taxes on it whenever you retire. But the thing around it is that a lot of people don't know the types of funds that are within your 401k. I'm going to make a separate video that's going to break down each of the funds that could be found within that 401k, 403b, all the things that may be when it comes to your retirement. So that's what a 401k is. A 401k is a cluster of funds in which your employer and that vendor decided this is what's going to be good for you. You probably have heard about a target date fund. A target date fund is a group of funds, stocks, bonds, all things that work that are going to be good and fruitful whenever you retire at that designated year. You probably have target date 2030, target date 2040. Or whoever, whichever. But the thing though, I'm going to have a side caveat. You know, I love doing this, is that whenever you see a target date fund, yes, I don't want you to put the whole pie of your 401k into that target date fund. I want you to research the funds that you are going to allocate, meaning you're going to take the thermostat we talked about. And I want you to determine, after I research, I'm going to put this amount of the overall pie of my 401k into this fund. Knowing that we're going to talk about the type of funds later, but that's what I want you to earmark when it comes to your 401k. Another thing, another freaking sidebar, is that you pay a service fee for having your 401k. You might not know it. You need to go check and know it. But that means that if you have a 401k at your employer, you can call that service fee up and say, hey Bob, hey Don, can you give me some clarification on what funds are within my retirement fund? How do you feel my target date fund is performing? Anything like that. You're paying that service fee. Think of like having a Netflix account and you want to call and say, this is what's going on, and they tell you. So that's what I want you to know when it comes to your 401k. The next thing is the infamous IRA. You have a Roth and you have a traditional. It is crazy, but we're going to go. We've been seeing a lot of people talk about Roth. You know me. I love to call either a Roth, regular or Roth. So it's an IRA. You have regular and you have Roth. Oftentimes you're going to see people talk about the good old Rothy. because of the tax advantages that come with that. So an IRA, or individual retirement account, is something that you can open yourself. You don't need to work for an employer or anybody that. Heck, I have one. That's one of the things that I've been really keying myself to do, is to have an IRA. So an individual retirement account, that's where the individual part comes from. You can open it. So you could actually go in there, do your research, find the actual custodian, the same custodians that you have within your 401k, or the accounts placement that you have within your 401k, you can have that within your IRA. So that's the thing, is that the traditional IRA, you contribute money that is tax deductible. So just like a 401k, it grows tax deferred. But here's the difference, that whenever you take it out at retirement, you're going to pay taxes on it. But then we have the good old Rothy. Rothy has been the hot ticket, or the it girl on social media when it comes to talk about IRAs. That is the complete opposite. You contribute money after taxes, which means that you don't have a tax break now. But the best part is that whenever you take money out of there, it's taxed. But let me call this out first. So whenever I'm saying about you taking money out of your Roth IRA or whatever, you're going to have to make sure that whatever you do a withdrawal on your 401k, you are 59 and a half in one day. You're going to see here the age of 59 and a half. But I want you to keep in mind, as someone that has worked at financial services, that 59 and a half, go ahead a day after. So I'm at 59 and a half on August 29th. So on let's just say February 28th, I'm halfway to the August 29th. So with February 28th, I will wait until March 1st to take it if I'm within that age bracket. You get it? So when it comes to that, like I said, it's tax-free. Another thing that I want to call out is for those that are creators, small business owners, is for them to consider a SEP IRA. I talked about this over on the Clock app a while ago. Is that it's a the same concept that you have with saving for retirement, but it's within your bucket. You can contribute more than the contribution level. Let me go ahead and say this. Here are the contribution levels for 2025 right now. So even if you're viewing this video in 2028, 2027, go and do a Google search for IRA contributions, the year, and that's the number that you should contribute to. Go ahead and also look for 401k contribution limits, and that it's a year, and add the year that you're in, and that's how you'll know how you need to spend. So that's the thing I want to call out, is that you've been seeing people telling you, 7,000 is the way to go when it comes to your contribution levels, which is true. This is the limitation that we've been seeing. But the thing it breaks down to, and I've talked about this in previous videos, is that $7,000 breaks down to $135 a week. Do you have that? Cool. If you do, go ahead and set automations and roll it. If you don't, doing some will still increase your sum. But the thing when it comes to increasing your sum is making sure that you put that sum into the funds that's going to give you funds due to compound interest. But we're going to get into that, because I'm going to tell you a little sidebar. Me and these damn sidebars. Is that when you hear people say, I hit my limitations, I hit my max contributions. There we go. Max contributions for my IRA. I hit 7,000. I hit match. And you always see me come back with this. So, are you one of the 40%? I'm like, what do you mean by that? The 40% is that 40% of those that have an IRA have found themselves not contributing into funds, meaning the money is just sitting there, honey, and collecting, dust and not growing. And then it's really showing whenever you do retire, the hell, I didn't put that money nowhere. It just sat there like you put in a regular savings account. So it's not going to grow that much. But the thing it's a blog post that I have called "The Cash and the Carry of Your IRA," meaning you determine out of the contributions that you're going to do into your IRA, that I'm going to take a portion of this and invest it into these stocks or these ETFs or these whatever. Insert here. That is the cash and the carry ratio when it comes to your IRA. And then when taking a step back to your 401k, because I can't leave her out, is that I want you to go and research the different funds within there, the offerings, because your employer picked them. They might not be for you, based upon you, but I want you to do the best what you have. So research those large cap funds, small cap funds, medium cap funds, bonds, all that good stuff. Research international, especially what's going on right now that I'm recording this. Please be mindful of the funds that you have in there. So let's get into when would you use either an IRA or a 401k. Let's talk about it. So one of the common questions that I've seen in a group that I'm in is like, when would I have a 401k? When will I have an IRA? Let's just say, no matter if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, heck, I am loving seeing people that are over 60 investing. You still got a lot of life in you. But the options for you to look into is coming in. It's very refreshing seeing people talking about retirement planning as well as saving. But here are a couple options I want you to keep in mind. The option number one is that, let's say you have a 401k. You already got a 401k. You have one. Pause. If you have one from an old employer, here are some options of places for you to go and find those old 401ks and then roll them over into an IRA. So let's just say if you already had one, I had one from my first employer that I had out of college. I researched back then. We didn't have high capitalized. We didn't have this new portal that I'm hearing about, and I had to go find it. I found it, then I rolled it over into an IRA that I had, and then I made sure that the funds were going to be invested into funds that's going to let it run. So if you already are in your late 30s, early 40s, this is the common question that I got, that if you work at a place of employment that has a 401k that has matching, go ahead and determine within that contribution limit or the amount or percentage that I'm going to contribute 3% into my 401k every paycheck. Some employers have this nice little caveat that says it's 100% match up to. Please be mindful of that up to. That doesn't mean that they're going to give you 100% of match, period. It could be often one of the terminologies, the terms that I'm seeing people saying is, our corporations saying, is that we're going to contribute 100% up to 3% of your overall contribution. So up to, let's say for instance, you do 3%, they're going to do 100% to match that 3%. Then if you go to do 4%, they're only going to still match the 100% up to then. And then they might have a caveat that we're going to hit 1%, 2% of match of that. So be very mindful of how this match terminology works. You have a 401k and you want to build it up. I would tell you, if you already have a 401k, have a good cadence, have a good understanding of your funds, then I will tell you to then go and get an IRA. Let me tell you something, regardless if they match it or not, having an IRA is very critical, because we're going to talk about this in the next part around having multiple streams of income and how your retirement plans or accounts can be served at that. So if you already have this, I already have a 401k, I would suggest you to get an IRA. The IRA depends upon your income level at the time. Oftentimes people find themselves in a Rothy. Sometimes people have to get the regular. Either way it go, that would be a great option that you already have a 401k, that you move into an IRA. This is going to add another stream of income. Then it will also help you reduce your taxable income for now. Look into a traditional IRA. So if you already have a 401k, I want you to then consider what's in the 401k. How are you hitting the contributions? How are you hitting your savings rate? Here is the formula to determine what your savings rate is. And oftentimes your employer will give you within your 401k, it will allow you to know what your saving rate is. Here's a little thing that I talked about on this article a while ago, is that a lot of financial planners usually suggest that you contribute 10% of your income. Have they not seen what's going on outside in this economy? So contribute what you can. But another thing I would tell you to do, though, is every year or every quarter, depending upon how the money is running, for you to increase it by at least 1%. That's upon your jurisdiction. This is just a general concept. I cannot give you formulated instructions unless you're my client or you work in a financial planner or call that service number, right? Okay, cool. So I still want you to consider the 401k that you have with your place of employment. Research those funds and determine which is going to work for you. Is it going to be the Roth IRA, or is it going to be the traditional IRA? A Roth IRA is it's good for you to reduce your taxable income now, but you can also go with a traditional IRA. The next example is that you are finding yourself, you don't have a 401k. This is a lot of Americans right now, and it's a common question that I am finding myself being asked on social media, is that, hey, I don't have a 401k. So what I would tell you to do is to go see if your employer has this offering for you, and then determine if they have match. Even if they don't have match or do, still start something there. Or take a step back. You find that old 401k, roll it over into that 401k to build there, and then start your IRA. Don't worry if you were finding yourself at 40, at 50, starting to build your retirement account. That is okay. You're starting. Give yourself grace, and then figure the gear to shift it to get you. It sounds like I said shit, right? To shift it to get into gear to handle your retirement. The thing is, though, even if I want you to save in, if they don't offer a 401k, I still want you to treat your retirement planning and saving as a bill. Open up that Roth or regular IRA. Then say, this is how much I can contribute. This is how I'm going to automate it. And then I'm going to, every so often, let's just say you automate every paycheck. Then at least once a quarter or once a month, you go and take some time during your money date to determine, I'm going to go buy this fund. You also can set up, depending on the custodian or account that you're using, that they'll auto buy into a certain fund. But that depends. Everybody does not have that offering, and everybody might not want that. Okay, so want you to determine that even if your employer doesn't do match, that you can still utilize that 401k, or you can build your IRA. We're going to be talking about in another video, like I called out at the top, around 401ks, about the different funds, not only within IRAs or within your 401ks, so you'll know how to invest and build your overall plan. I can't really give too much context on how to build your plan due to the fact I have to know the following things. I need to know your risk tolerance, meaning if the stock market drops 30% right now, what would you do? I sound like Keanu Reeves off of Speed. What would you do? Your risk appetite is going to be let's just call it the fuel to understanding your roadmap to investing. So I have to know your risk appetite. That will allow me to know then what type of funds to put in your retirement fund, or suggest to you to put in your retirement fund, because I'm advice only. I do not manage funds. So I will then suggest to you, this is the type of funds that I see that you should invest in. And then we're going to take it another step back. This is how consistently you should be saving towards putting money into those funds. Your savings rate is going to be critical, but do not allow your savings rate to stall you into saving. You know my theory. I have been talking about on Threads. I've been talking about on Facebook. I've been talking about everywhere that my little brown face can be at, is that I want you to do some, grow your sum, versus doing none. I know a lot of people talk about, oh, my parents didn't teach me about investing and things like that. Your parents did the best they could do. This is now up to you to pick up and to figure out where to put your funds about. So determine what funds, risk tolerance, what account are we saving into? Is this going to be for a regular brokerage account, the buy stocks as you would, or is it going to be for your IRA, or is it going to be a Roth or regular, or is it going to be just for whatever? You determine that. And then you determine what your risk tolerance is going to be. And then you're going to determine what amount of revenue is going to fuel that, and then how you're going to do to allocate this. Let me go ahead and say this now. Asset allocation is like you have a piece of pie, and then you understand this is how much of I want this much of my pizza to be stocks, this much of my pizza to be bonds, this much of my pizza to be this much of my pizza to be that. The reason I called out on another form of short content is that asset allocation is going to be your bestie in case we go into a recession. Why do I say that? It's because if you have 100% of your pizza pie going towards bonds, and bonds are not performing well, you're going to know the pizza is going to be undercooked, meaning it's probably going to dry up. We're going to call it that. But if you're noticing that you're having it around, you probably heard about something called diversification, asset allocation. Diversification is like this, it goes like this, and it keeps it strong. I'm Greek. You know what I mean by that. So that's the thing I wanted to call out. So the next part is something that I kind of teased at the beginning. I want you to think of your retirement planning, the accounts that you have, the Roth IRA, the regular IRA, the 401k, the 403b, the HSA. I don't think I have a video around HSA right now, but HSAs are health savings accounts on which you can pull an amount from your contributions to handle your medical care, wellness care, and I have a blog post on this. And then another portion of it could be for you to retire. Compared to HSAs to FSAs, which is flexible savings accounts. FSA's funds expire at the end of the year. HSA funds do not expire. So those will the 401k, 403b, IRA, Roth or regular, HSA, and others are key accounts that you to save for retirement and retirement planning. The reason why I'm going somewhere with this is a parlay for you, is that I want you to see each of those accounts that you have as a stream of income. Here comes the actual retirement planning that not too many people go into. The reason why I'm telling you this is that I want you to say, all right, so I got this 401k. This 401k is going to handle, Louis, do it. I'm sorry. I go real bad for sidebar. So your 401k is going to go for your housing. Okay. Then you will have this IRA that you've been putting in these funds in, and they've been growing great. This is going to go for your travel. Then you're going to have your HSA that is going to help with your upkeep in your bills or whatever. That is a way I want you to see it as. Is that I want you to have, like we love to talk about, multiple streams of income. Your retirement accounts that you build now are going to be income streams for when you have later. So like I said, if you have your 401k, you have old 401ks, I want to take this old 401k and put it into this 401k to help boost my housing costs. So if just in case I have to go into the, this assistant 55 and plus living, I'm going to take that portion from the job I had at this company or the job I had or whatever, and it's going to go there. Or I'm going to take that old 401k and roll it over into an IRA. This IRA is going to help me with upkeep. It's going to help me with traveling, because the thing when it comes to retirement planning is that we plan the funds, we don't plan the fun, meaning we do not plan what we're going to do in retirement, which we find a lot of people that go into retirement not knowing what the hell they're going to do, regardless if they have a lot of money or few. You need to have an actual plan for your retirement. Not just the paper, the plan. So that's why I want you to think about having your 401ks, your 403bs or whatever as income streams for retirement. So which is best for you, the 401k or not to have a 401k? If you already have a 401k, adding that Roth IRA, regular or having a regular IRA is still going to help diversify your tax strategy as well as increase your retirement savings. And if you don't have a 401k, that is fine. When it comes to personal finance, it's about making things personal. And this is what retirement planning is that you get to build your overall fund with the funds that you have, and then build it out. And I'm kicking like this. One of my favorite sayings is that be firm on your intentions, but flexible with your implementation. So if I know that a while ago I have this 401k and it's doing this, and I'm like, I don't like it, you can change it. Don't be afraid to move your funds around as need be. So let's get into the last section. So I hope that this video gave you some clarity to the confusion when it comes to a 401k as well as an IRA. Let's just go ahead and backtrack. An IRA is an individual retirement account that you can set up on certain platforms. I'm going to list them in the wallet. Then is it the wallet or is the bank? What do you think? Let me know. What should I call the description box? Should I call it the wallet or should I call it the bank? Let me know. In a couple videos, you're going to see, I want to just do a whole summary of what this YouTube account is going to be about, and it's going to be in there. So let me know, wallet or bank? What do you think? Okay, so this video is going to give you it gave you some clarifications on what a 401k is, what an IRA is. An IRA is an individual retirement account that you pick and open. A 401k is usually offered by your place of employment, or you being the boss, you offer it. And I even have a lot of blog content talking about IRAs in the bank or the wallet below. So you let me know. It is never too late to start, no matter if you are 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus. Also, if you are 55 plus, there are different types of contribution levels to where you can do. You can actually run it up a little bit more due to the fact it's called a catch up. And interesting enough, I think this would be right prime time for me to be right here at it. If you are 55 and plus up and about to hit retirement or close to hit retirement, Choose Your Retirement is a good book that I will suggest, as well as this one, 5 years before you retire. I actually know the author, and it's a very good book. Actually, it's a bestseller. Yikes. So those are two good books that I have. So you let me know, what are you thinking when it comes to your retirement? Are you scared? Are you feeling secure? Could you be punching up things a bit? And don't forget to let me know in the wallet or the bank below what questions do you have. And we're going to talk about in another video the different funds that you will find within your 401k, IRA, or whatever when it comes to investing. So don't forget to give a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to drop your comments or questions in the box. Also, whenever you do subscribe, make sure you get that notification bell so you can know when I am popping up. I post not only videos once a week, I'm trying to hold myself to that, but I post shorts almost nearly every freaking day, the ends and why. Also, don't forget to join my newsletter, Fumble to Funded. I drop that literally twice a month as well, and sometimes I link my videos from here over there. So don't forget to stay funded. That's it.